What is going on, true believers? I hope you're having a great morning. Guys, I have figured out when the altcoin season will begin. And I'm going to reveal it to you. I'm going to show you why I came to this conclusion. I'm going to guess as to why I'm right. We're going to be looking for, something big is getting ready to happen in this market. I'm going to lay it out for you and give you my hypothesis, if you will. And then we're going to see if this is right. And if I am, then it's going to get absolutely crazy real soon. Now, if you like this type of content, make sure you hit the like button on the way in. If you're on the fence, if you're thinking, let's see whether or not he's 100% right about it. Well, you can't do that. You got to hit the like button today. We got to get as many people as we can involved in this process, because that's how we all get, it's how we get that money. It's not financial advice, but I'm always right.
It's your boy Bleed. Everybody listen up. Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 I'm always right.
All right, guys. So this weekend was a good weekend. I got to the top of Jailstool and shorted it, and that played out epically. Got a 400% gain on that one, very, very easily. So, we got another wild narrative that just kind of popped up out of nowhere. As soon as that one happened, found the top, got near the top, it double topped. And then it was just time for it to come down from there. So we won, got a big win on that one. And by the way, the place that I got it, KCEX. What do? They took Jailstool. They listed that thing right away because there was a lot of trade volume. If you're looking for meme coins and you want to do some longing and you want to do some shorting on these meme coins, go sign up to KCEX today, because crushing it. I was actually surprised that they had listed it so quickly, but here we are. And by the way, this is my long right now that I'm playing. It's the only one that I have open. It's a $374 one for XRP. I've got it 10x with a liquidation of 216. And the reason that I have that is actually very simple. If you look at this chart, I continue to look at this chart, and we're in this fib move, right? And from this move right here, we completed it. And now we're seemingly consolidating right here at the bottom of this range. So I think that a test of this top is the next step. I think that that's the next move. And with that being said, that's a pretty good move all the way up. And in the event that we get a breakout, then I think that the breakout takes us up above $6.74. So mine is set right now at a take profit of $6, which would be a profit of $5,600 if I'm right about this direction. And basically, here's the deal. The question that I'm asking in this regard is, are we going to hit $6 before we hit $2.16.59? That's the question that I'm asking and answering in this right now. And I think that we are going to be on the way up. So we'll see. We'll see if this thing actually does take off. And if it does, fantastic. Made a few bucks off of it. If it doesn't, oh well, right? We were looking for it's only $373. Every once in a while, take a shot. Let's look at the crypto bubbles right now. Crypto bubbles show that the market we got a few that are feeling a little downward pressure. The official Trump meme coin is, basically it's DOA at this point. 3.22 billion market cap, still 1.51 billion in volume, but it continues to dip further and further and further down. We're just getting people selling out. It's just, look, people are not going to make it. Now, here's the other part. That does mean that this is going to be, opportunistically speaking, this is going to be one of those crazy runs, because I'm here to tell you that at the end of this, the Trump meme coin is going to 100 billion market cap. I joke about when people say stuff like programmed in. Nothing's programmed in. However, I would think that the Trump meme coin, of all of them, I mean, Doge is out there, SHIB is out there, Pepe's out there, but none of them are Trump. And as one of the luckiest guys in the history of the world, I would say that Donald Trump most likely will be the first guy to have a meme coin go to 100 billion. So that's what my bet's on. 100 billion market cap, I think, for the Trump meme coin means about 500 per coin. So if you just imagine where it is right now at, was it $15 or something like that, about 33x from this position at 3 billion market cap. So and I really think that seems pretty logical. It's ridiculous. I'll be honest. It's ridiculous that something like that could happen. But look, it happens all the time, right? It's what happens all the time in the market. So I do think it's going to go really good. Next up, Virtual's up 10%, Tao's up 10%, DEXE is down 10.5%, Hex is up 13%, Stacks is up 7%. And by the way, remember I gave you Stacks 2 years ago, and it's been just a fantastic run. It's one of the big, I think at some point, Stacks is going to be one of those breakout candidates. And the reason is because when you look at mass adoption is number one, Bitcoin, and number two, everything else. Bitcoin dominance is over 60%. So everything that's built in the Bitcoin network, Lightning chain, Stacks, which allows smart contracts to be built on Bitcoin, everything in Bitcoin is going to explode and absolutely rip. Also, saw some stuff talking about Algorand. Got a feeling that Algorand might be due for a really big run as well. Up 65% so far in the year, down 21% in the month though. So check that one out. Litecoin also up 10% on news that I think it was, I want to say BlackRock or somebody just filed an ETF for Litecoin and another XRP one. So Fartcoin up 25% today. eHex up 23%. Hex really having a good time of it in this recovery. Rune up 14%. AIXBT up 30%. Pendle up 6%. Prime up 9.4%. Dog up 18.7%. Popcat 6.7%. Deep up 10%. Wemix 10%. SPX 11.7%. T-Fuel up 15.8%. Car down 80%. Now, this one was crazy, okay? The Central African Republic meme, I'm not even sure if this is real or not, but it shot up to a 500 million market cap in a matter of minutes because it was an official crypto of a government. However, a lot of detectors are now saying that probably was a hacked account with AI and an AI bot pretending to be the president of the Congo or wherever it is. And that's how that launched. And it was just basically a liquidity grab. Gross one. So we'll see. I have no idea. Binance Test token is at 155 million market cap. VVV at 24%. ARC up 37%. Solo up 28%. Graphane up 21%. BNX up 24%. A lot of pumping going on. A lot of meme coins having moves as well. Cookie up 72%, Corium up 13%, B3 down 41%. So we are having a big move here. Cheems 26%, Ski 11.6%. A lot of meme coins out here. Apu 18%, Doge 27%, Swarms 37%, Fog up 8%, Andy up 12.5%. So again, breakout of meme coins quite a bit. We've got a few alts that are breaking out as well. So there you have it. That's what's going on there. Fear and Greed Index sitting at 43 right now. still in the 40s. I did not know that we would even make it back down here. Hopefully, we could get into a little bit of fear, but the fact that we're so far down right now tells me that most likely it's probably going to pump. Now, the other thing to it is, remember what I told you guys, sell between 30 and 70. Well, we're at the spot right now where you should be buying and buying and buying and buying. We're in the bull market, by the way. We're in the bull market. We're up $34 billion on the day. So I would say that that's the idea here. So let's talk real quick about what we're going to cover and why I think the market is about to explode. So I found this analysis that somebody posted, and this was very, very important. Okay. When you break this down, MicroStrategy bought 250,000 Bitcoin in 2024. You know, MicroStrategy is not selling. ETFs bought 500,000 Bitcoin in 2024. Now, that doesn't mean that they're not selling. That means that they're transactional, but inflows have generally been good and will continue to be good because they're ETFs. More people are finding Bitcoin. More people are wanting to get involved. More institutions. So that's going to go up. But that's 750,000 Bitcoin absorbed by ETFs and MicroStrategy alone. If we include whales and other big players, more than 4 million Bitcoin have moved to new addresses. In January 2025 alone, ETFs bought 50,000 Bitcoin. Have you noticed any significant movement on the chart, and do you know why? Because BlackRock and other high IQ institutions always buy OTC, which is over the counter, which means that they're not going to an exchange. They're not buying from an exchange. They're just buying from somebody who wants to sell. And they're basically doing a trade that's not on the chain rather than directly from exchanges to avoid pushing up the price, and they end up paying more. So what changed now? The OTC desk supply is now drying up. It's getting much less day by day. This is where it gets really bullish, as the total Bitcoin balance available on OTC right now is 140,000 Bitcoin. Now, that means in 3 months, there will be no, by the way, in 3 months at the level that we were moving in January. And by the way, we're not breaking out in January. We were just having a decent January. They bought 500,000 Bitcoin because they're doing over 50,000 a month, right? That's what we have to keep into account here. They're buying a lot. MicroStrategy's buying spot. So, and they would buy OTC as much as they could. But what I'm telling you right now is that the OTC supply is now just 140,000. If we get on a good run and we have just some really good bangers back to back to back to back days, that lead into a couple of really big weeks. And that's what we're talking about here, a matter of weeks. The OTC desks will dry up their Bitcoin supply. They will have to pay a lot more to buy it off exchanges. They're going to be careful about it, and they can always try to replenish, but the price has to go up for them to replenish. Because look, if you just consider this, if you consider an OTC desk something that's off the chain, okay, that's not part of the normal price action. If you just consider that for a second, okay, they have to go buy on chain in order to put it back into their desks if they're buying that way, right? In order to keep supplying people, they have to pay more, which means that everybody has to pay more. That's the way that it works. The OTCs, they are also buyers. So not only are we considering and factoring in the buys that MicroStrategy makes, the buys of the ETF, but also the fact that the OTCs are going to have to stock back up, then that's where things are getting crazy. Now, sooner or later, when the OTC supply dries up, market makers will have two options: create FUD to shake weak hands and buy Bitcoin cheaply, or trigger a FOMO rally and buy directly from exchanges. This scenario brings us to $150,000 Bitcoin. So for you as well, you understand where we are in the bull run right now. Are we at the start of a new bear market, or are we in a massive bull market? The answer is clear. One indicator has a 100% precision rate Bitcoin movements on OTC desks. Historically, when we saw a sudden increase in OTC inflows, it meant big players are secretly selling while retail FOMO'd in. Now, the opposite is happening. During this sideways phase, big players are secretly buying Bitcoin. That's what's happening right now, okay? People are secretly buying Bitcoin. So now we have a matter of a couple weeks. Now let's talk about what is the problem. Why have we not taken off completely? And the answer is actually very, very simple. You're not going to like it. It's this guy.
I'm about to drop some hugely powerful alpha.
Donald Trump is screwing up the markets right now. So how long will that last? Well, this is where it gets a little bit easier, okay? The problem with the market as we sit right now, the problem with the market is that people don't understand that Donald Trump is, of course, if you look at it from this context, Donald Trump is trying to quickly establish American superiority, right? That requires finesse, requires brute strength. We've started with tariffs on Canada, Mexico, China. That's led to retaliations of different sorts. So the markets are wonky because the markets are trying to price in what might happen over the next days, weeks, or months, and they're all reactionary. Okay, they are all reactionary. Okay, so what they're doing is they're reacting to all of the stuff that's been happening, and then once they react to all of the stuff, meaning the tariffs, et cetera, and the shutting down of the Department of Education, potentially, things like that. People are trying to figure out where does it go and how can they make money. And that means that we're talking about risk asset, okay? So with risk asset being the worst investment, if you will, most profitable but worst investment, with that being the case, then you have to give them an opportunity to figure out what they're going to do next. And that takes a few weeks. So what you've seen right now is some backhanded accumulation. Again, institutions are secretly buying from the OTC's desk. They're loading up. They're getting ready. Nasdaq, by the way, we're going to talk about them in just a moment since we've got people talking about DevvE. And I'm not saying anything about DevvE at this point, but remember, people are buying OTC right now. So within 2 weeks, we are about to explode. All right. Now, let's move into more DevvE related circumstances. And Nasdaq has made an announcement this morning. They filed a 19B4S for CoinShares, XRP, and Litecoin ETFs with the US SEC. So Nasdaq is going to be the custodian for CoinShares, XRP, and Litecoin ETFs. If Nasdaq is a custodian instead of Coinbase, what does that mean? Does that mean that somehow or another Nasdaq is expanding the brand a little bit? And could there be anything to that expansion? He asks out loud, already knowing the answer. The answer to that is yes. And I can't tell you why I know. I can't tell you why I believe that it's going to be Nasdaq, because I've already given you everything that I have. It's got to be, right? Amid increasing anticipation on XRP ETFs, Nasdaq has taken a bold initiative. In an astounding development, Nasdaq has filed a 19B4 form with the SEC to introduce CoinShares, XRP ETF, and Litecoin ETF. These listings enable investors to tap into new investment opportunities in XRP and Litecoin, driving institutional adoption. Now, stop for a moment here. Everything just got really bullish, okay? So now the question is, how do we react? According to the official filing submitted on January 10, NASDAQ submitted 19B4 forms to the SEC to list and trade two CoinShare exchange-traded funds, XRP and Litecoin. I'm sorry. Let me read that one more time, okay? NASDAQ submitted 19B4 forms to the Securities and Exchange Commission to list and trade two CoinShares exchange-traded funds, XRP and Litecoin. I wonder if they're going to list and trade it on a blockchain. And if they are, I wonder what blockchain that's going to be. He asks out loud to no one in particular because he has no idea, but still believes that he knows. Oh, yeah, it might be one that you guys are pretty familiar with. So this may end up being one of the guys. Here's what I'm saying. Nasdaq is in the business of making money. Nasdaq is all about that base. I don't know. It means something. I have no idea. I think it's fat butts or something. Anyway, Nasdaq has entered the arena in crypto and continue to enter the arena in crypto. And then guess what happens here? Then we've got somebody else who's going to step in and be the blockchain by which all of one company is running their stuff through, meaning that in the event that Nasdaq needed CoinShares to be trading XRP and Litecoin ETFs, if people were doing that and they were using a blockchain, what's the value? Doesn't that mean that CoinShare would have to use the same blockchain? Or what if BlackRock had an XRP ETF? What blockchain would they use? Guys, we're getting to the point. And by the way, a lot of the stuff that's happening right now for DevvE, a lot of the stuff that's happening right now, and this has nothing to do with this filing right here, but it seems like everything is being coordinated at this point. So I would think right now, if you look at where we are, we're at 98.4 cents. You look at this move and you see that it fully played out so far. And remember what I told you about these moves, okay? And we're seeing it play out. And look, you're always hoping and praying that it actually ends up being this fantastic journey from zero to 10 billion, 20 billion market cap, and you make millions and your life has changed. Okay. Everybody's wanting that. But the reality is you have this move right here. Then you had the retest back down here at the 618 right here in this golden zone. After the golden zone, what did it do? Pumped up to the 236. What did it do? Dipped down a little bit harder this time. And now it's finding its footing. So the next move should be to $1.37. And then in the event that it gets accepted into that range, most likely a little dip here and then a test here of the 236 at $1.54. Again, another test back down and then a breakout to test that all-time high again, or at least that local top, because I think the all-time high is actually 225. So what you're seeing right now is about as healthy a consolidation as you've got for DevvE. Now, does that mean that we're done with the retracement? It looks like it, but you never really know, okay? You never know when the market, and by the way, remember, all of these cryptos are fragile when it comes down to it. There has to be a catalyst to cause people to come in and continue to buy. And right now, until DevvE has to work in silent mode, they cannot tip their hat one way or another. So having to work in silent mode means there's not a lot that you can do other than to wait and have patience. What you have to do at this point is be inspired by the fact that, you've got this range right here, which was your previous zone, and you're bouncing off of it very strongly so far. Now, I would like to see, you can see it coming down like here. What I would like to see is a test coming back up into $1.23, at least into this range. That would inspire a little confidence because it would be a reversal of trend. When you start to zoom out, the one thing that you can say here is you've got a lower high coming in and coming in and coming in. You need to have a move back up to establish investor confidence for a breakout. So again, the unfortunate part is this comes down to announcements. I've had multiple people reach out to me over the last couple of days. Nobody from DevvE or Nasdaq or anything like that, but I've had people reaching out to me constantly trying to list DevvE on their centralized exchanges, because I don't know if I'm the only person that's on the list here or something. I don't know why, but they keep reaching out to me. I must be on a list somewhere as a contact person. They're reaching out and they're trying to list it. I had, I want to say xt.com. I had, oh my God, what was it called? CoinW reached out to me the other day. Let me find them. Yeah, XT, CoinW, Weeks reached out about it. So I've had 3 in the last couple of days. Of 4, Biconomy also reached out. So I've had 4 different exchanges reach out about listing DevvE, and the answer to that is they're not interested. You're going to list it at no charge because you're going to want that volume, is basically what they're doing right now. That's the path that they are taking and have taken. So, I mean, again, we have it right here. This was a healthy correction. It came down to the spot that it should come down. In the event that it breaks down below that, we're going to 44 cents, by the way. Just so you guys understand, that doesn't mean that we're done with a dump, but here's where you got to zoom out and you got to start looking around. I'm on a daily chart right now, and maybe tell me what you see, but it looks like the next leg up is loading. And the reason that I say that is, first of all, let's deal with where DevvE is. And by the way, I'm using DevvE, but there's a lot of cryptos that look exactly like this right now. You've got the cup, you've got the handle playing out, and then you've got this range right here, which is the top to the bottom. When you take this range from the top to the bottom and you move it over here, then that's where the next impulse move is going to go. And that's where this little green line came into play. From the bottom of the move to the top of the move, and then from the cup and handle right around there. So you're talking about an impulse move that's going to play out right now to about $14.5. Okay. That is the next move programmed in if it fulfills the cup and handle pattern. Now, moving into a tighter frame, here's what I want you to see. And by the way, as I start to zoom around at some of these other cryptos, you'll notice the same thing emerging. Now, here's what's going on. We had this ridiculous surge, right? It goes from 12 cents all the way up to $1.88. And then it starts to retrace. It starts to come back down, $1.85, sorry. And then it starts to retrace, comes back down around the dollar range right now, which is about where we are, right? But guess what's happening in the meantime? We're right here, but the RSI is way down here. And what happens when the RSI is down here? That signifies a big impending move. So when you see the RSI start to dip, right? Where is it? Right there, dipping. And then what happens? It takes off on a run. So what we have right now is a situation in which the RSI is now low again, and DevvE is ready for that next leg up. And the question right now would be, how far up does that leg up go? And if you're talking about the same region, let's just say that this region right here was the same region. If that move right there fulfills itself, that's an $8 move right there. Like if it just continues and soars like it did just a little while ago from the same RSI. And by the way, it's not an exact science. This is all prediction and just guessing, right? But if it does, then we're talking about an $8 or a $9 DevvE breaking out very, very quickly. Now, that still doesn't put it to $1 billion market cap. So now the question would be, what about how far does this thing go? Well, billion market cap is basically going to be right where I'm talking about right now. So if you were to boom, 87 million market cap. So we're basically talking about a 12x from where we are. 12x from where we are right now is about $12. But remember, we're also over here. Its market cap's only 37.9 million because of the supply available on Uniswap. Now, here's where it gets interesting. This is where the squeeze comes in. The supply of DevvE is not on centralized exchanges. So this does matter, but it doesn't matter too much. It's how much you can buy. And what you can buy is 37.9 million worth of market cap off of Uniswap, basically. So that means that in order for this to go to $1 billion, that's about a 30x to get there. So that means that we are in a spot here where, $25 to $30 DevvE could be on the table as soon as the announcement happens. Okay, that's what we're waiting for. Captain Mo says, so would you buy now or wait? So first of all, I wouldn't buy all of it at this point. What I would do is, if you had $1,000 and you were looking at it as an option, you would throw 500 in today at $1 just to see what would happen. If it goes up, then you got $500 in skin in the game. If it goes down, and it goes down to the next level, which is at the top of this over here, so basically 50 cents, between 45 and 50 cents, if you allow it to come down to that level, if it even does, if you allow it to come down to that level, then you just buy another $500 worth. I mean, that's really, you just DCA, because at this point you're buying on spot, and the next big move here is going to be that parabolic sort of cup and handle finisher play out, if you will, which takes it up into these stratospheric sort of numbers. So right now is the time to be incredibly bullish on DevvE. This is if the announcement comes out in the next couple days, which, by the way that they're talking, I'm not saying that it is coming, but I'm saying that it feels like it. Like when I listen to what they're saying, like they're so nervous and getting ahead of themselves in the way that they're doing everything, because I think something very big is on the horizon. So I think that they're feeling it right now, and they're like, oh shit, here we go. You know what I mean? Like I think that, and by the way, that's not science. I've nothing to back that up with. So, you know what I mean? Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't. But, again, my idea here is that there's going to be a big move coming very soon. So, but let's get into more news. 19B4 on Nasdaq is out of the way. Now, MicroStrategy bought another 7,633 Bitcoin for $742 million. MicroStrategy stock has now rebounded. So, all of the cool stuff that you've been looking for from MicroStrategy. By the way, stock price is up over 2%, trading around 334, by the way. So if we're, please, like $334 for MicroStrategy. I mean, guys, just let that sink in. God damn. Now, the next big potential catalyst, which I don't think will be a catalyst, is going to be this. Will the Bitcoin price hit 100,000 ahead of Powell's testimony on Tuesday? Now, for clarity, the Senate Banking Committee has called in for the annual report. So Jerome Powell is getting ready to go in and talk about what is going on in the markets. And this is where things are going to get interesting right now. Okay, this is where everybody's going to be listening tomorrow, not because he's going to be the one that starts the bull run, but because the words matter. So he has said that the economy is resilient, highlight its dual mandate of maintaining price stability and achieving maximum employment, and taking a data-driven approach to reducing inflation. Now, according to Tim Dewey of SGH Macro, the Fed speakers agree that no rate cut will occur until the second half of the year. However, this outlook might quickly change as the January jobs report came in at 143,000, lower than the estimate of 170,000. A weaker jobs report calls for rate cuts and could be bullish for Bitcoin and crypto markets, which are risk on assets. If Powell acknowledges this during the testimony and hints at a rate cut before June of 2025, it could catalyze a risk on behavior and propel Bitcoin higher. So that's what we're looking for. That's what could happen tomorrow. While the job data showed weakness, the pickup in average hourly earnings and wages were on par with Fed expectations, suggesting that the central bank might stand its ground on the interest rate decision. Now, Remember, Donald Trump is probably calling Jerome Powell every single day and telling him, lower the rates, because he wants people borrowing. He wants money in this economy. That's how he gets success. And currently, Jerome Powell is standing in the way of that easy path. Now, when I say that, that makes Jerome Powell sound like the villain in this. And I don't think that he is. I think that he's, tasked with protecting the U.S. economy. And he probably, and by the way, you've heard Donald Trump say the other day, hey, we got a star in the house. We got a rock star in the house right now. I think that if Trump wants these rates to go down, it doesn't matter, because here's what happened. 2 weeks ago, before we had the last meeting, Trump said, yeah, I want the rates to come down. And then also that's what I would do. And then he had a call with Jerome Powell. And then after Jerome Powell did not pause the rate, Trump came back and said, I think that was the right decision. So they're having conversations with him, and he's understanding that what he wants can't happen at exactly the time that he wants it to happen. So that's by the way, that's the other thing. Trump's listening to a lot of different advisors right now, and a lot of better people than before. Remember, the old people that he brought into place, they were the vampires. They were the ones who were sucking the economy dry to begin with. So what you're looking at now is, I think, a better class of loser for who's advising him. Do you know what I mean? Like that it's just a better group of people that are telling him more of what he needs to hear, versus how to just keep grifting the grifting the people and the people grifting the government and all this. It's just the absolute money. So those are the things that are representative of problems, by the way. So now nearly 80 million in shorts face liquidation if Bitcoin price hits 98,000. So now, what are the odds, and does it look like there's some opportunity for Bitcoin to hit 98,000? And you can look right now and see that despite the fact that we've had a good day in the markets, what is happening right now? And what is happening right now is the U.S. market is in mad sell-off dog mode, or whatever the fuck that is. But that article said that there were 98 million in liquidations, and guess what? We hit over 98 just a little while ago. So I would say that some of those people got liquidated. And if we look at our liquidation heat map, you can see it right there. There's that 98,000. So they came up and they got it. Now it looks like the move could be to 96 to come down here and grab this, and then zoom out just a little bit, get into the deeper end of the pool, if you will. And you can see that the big money sitting out there right now is a little over 98, up in the 99 range. So if we can get a surge from that, you see a big move into 99. As we get out a little bit further, then the big move is 107,000 at this point. But I mean, there's a big amount right here, all the way up to 99, that's just kind of sitting there for the take. And by the way, we don't control any of this. The market's going to do whatever it's going to do. It doesn't really matter what we think. So, you know what I mean? No, I think it's going to bounce at some point. Dave Portnoy said that he's going to put in 100,000 for like every 100 million market cap that it goes to. So they'll be incentivized. And that would mean, by the way, that he's going to hold a pretty big floor. So what he's offering to do is drop $1 million in liquidity at $1 billion market cap. So that, I think that as the narrative changes, then I think that the Jailstool has a good opportunity. The problem with it is that it has to clear out, because there's a bunch of what the French call bitch ass mofos, dirt McGirt, dorks, retards, idiots. I don't know. I mean, you call them traders, but whatever. You know what I mean? Here we go. So it's trading at 4 cents right now. Just absolutely annihilated, right? Just absolutely annihilated in that price action. But I think that, it'll come back around. There we go. Let's move this out here. All right. So just so you guys know, though, just so you guys know, yesterday I thought, why not just pop this? So I hit this thing and I got it at about 18 cents and I sold down here at 12 and a half. Like, it was awesome. It was awesome. Like, this thing just started bottoming out. And I saw this, by the way, the reason that I did that was double top. It was this double top right there. And I was like, well, it's not going higher, right? It's not going higher. We're getting set up here for a catastrophic downfall, and then boom, it just started to dump from there. So and I was like, you know what, this thing is it's going to die super bad. So it died super bad. Unbelievable. But hopefully that liquidity it continues to dump and the liquidity gets sucked out of the market and people learn their lesson about this, because you have all these different people out here who are just, look, all people are trying to do is steal money from you. That's what these meme coins are. They're stealing money from you. And there's a bunch of people sitting in there right now who are saying, Dave Portnoy is my hero, therefore I will leave my money in forever, or something stupid. And guess what? That's the money that's being stolen as we speak. And it's not Dave Portnoy, by the way. It's not the person that's launching it. Well, sometimes it's the person launching it. But in this situation, it's not Dave Portnoy doing it. This is the market is just garbage. I mean, there's $10 million sitting in there. There's plenty of liquidity. There's plenty in here, and it will reverse. Did we find the bottom yet? I mean, is it the bottom? It looks pretty fucking bottom to me. I mean, Jesus Christ, look at that shit. It's pretty fucking bottom to me. So I think from here, the other part is when you look at it from this and you're like, well, it looks like the bottom to me, there's still 10 million in liquidity and a 45 million market cap. If this thing dipped halfway, it would still have a $25 million market cap and maybe, 4 or 5 million in liquidity. I mean, Jesus Christ, like, there's a lot of money in this project right now. So it will surge one more time. And as Dave Portnoy does his Dave Portnoy shit, then, we'll probably see it's not dead. It's going to move. We'll see. All right. Now, let's keep moving on, because CZ Binance got into the news this weekend. He critiqued Binance's token listing process as a bit broken. He flagged issues with the rapid timeline from announcement to listing, which is typical around 4 hours, causing price fluctuations on decentralized exchanges. He flagged issues. He says, as an observer, I think the Binance listing process is a bit broken. They announce, then list 4 hours later. The notice period is necessary, but in those 4 hours, the token prices go high on DEXs and then people sell on centralized exchanges. Not sure if there is a solution for this, though. Just beware. In terms of new asset listings, Coinbase typically puts together a page of upcoming listings, while Kraken tends to blog about new token listings when they're available for trading. So there you go. They're changing the way that they do it, which is, by the way, why Binance is not as big a deal when the listings happen, or Coinbase is not as big a deal. When you change the way that you do stuff, you're front running people who are manipulating the market. So, and by the way, you're looking for the pump that comes with something like this, but they're looking to manipulate the market, and you just got the benefit of that manipulation when it got listed before. Now it's going to be a warning to you that you have a couple hours to get your money and get the fuck out. So Binance then announced on Sunday that it would list TST and TST USDT and TC trading pairs, prompting Zhao to comment on meme coins. TST is currently trading on Binance at around 19 cents, up 38% since it began trading on Sunday. Its market cap now stands at 185 million, with a fully diluted of 195. I posted to clarify that TST was not endorsed by me or us. It was just a test token used in a video tutorial. Remember, we looked at this earlier, but every clarification post just made it more viral for whatever reason. So why did TST get listed on Binance? I don't know for sure. I am entirely not involved in their listing process. So CZ's out here questioning what's going on at Binance. That's Chainlink price could rebound as a new catalyst emerges. And by the way, the reason that this matters is because DevvE, also an RWA, although, by the way, not listed as an RWA, it's listed as a marketplace, real estate, gaming, and payments in the ecosystem, but it should be RWA at this point. And I've already reached out to the team and asked them if they can make the update on it. But Chainlink as an RWA, as one of the leading RWAs, if it's going to break out, then guess what? The reason that this breakout would happen here would be good for DevvE, which is why I'm bullish on it. Chainlink, and by the way, API 3, if you guys remember, is another RWA that I'm in. It would be good for them. Chainlink has become a key player in the real-world asset tokenization industry through its cross-chain interoperability protocol. Additionally, they forge partnerships with major financial services in collaboration with Swift, a network that moves trillions of dollars annually, and other partnerships with firms like UBS, Coinbase, and Emirates NBD. So, since you have bullish news continuing to come out for Chainlink, then that means that RWAs are about to surge, in my opinion. I don't know exactly when they'll start to surge, but there will be a surge happening. When that surge happens, then that's going to be a huge move for the entire market in that regard. It's currently trading at about $18 right now. LUNC is. So it's not pumping based off of that news. But I would think that when we get whenever the next couple of days, as the market starts to flip and we start to get more bullish, Chainlink's going to be one of those that take off, but everything with it will get swept up too, because people will get FOMO on RWA. So again, I think it's important that DevvE be correctly listed as an RWA on there, because guess what? That's how people find projects. They look in, they see RWA, then they're like, you know what? They start reading the narratives and they find out what's going on at DevvE, and that's how new investors get in early. And it's difficult for them to do that if they don't have the right information for themselves, and they could just miss this one, and it would just be because we didn't do the listing or we didn't list it properly for them, or something like that. So I do think that Chainlink will move the markets. Now, XRP records an abnormal 330% growth over Solana in fund flows. So we've got XRP with money moving in like crazy over Solana. We've got Ethereum having a rapid recovery off of this crazy dump that was not experienced by Solana, this wild liquidity sweep sort of drop that happened over here. But when we look at Ethereum, I don't think that you're bullish enough, because if you look at it from this context and you just take the time to look at this chart from a long term, this is an ascending wedge, and you're at the bottom of the ascending wedge. Like, this thing is about to break out to 4,000 for sure. And then above that, 5,000, and then maybe all the way as high as 10 to 12,000 from there. Ethereum is primed for a breakout. It broke down below its support, didn't even last a day. Now, you consider when you zoom out, this has been going on since 2022. Now, we take into consideration that this has been going on since 2022. What happened when XRP finally broke out? Remember, this was XRP's trend line, a 7-year-long trend line. And what happened when it broke out? It went up. What is the percentage on that breakout? The percentage of that breakout is a 5x. So XRP broke out 5x from their trend line. So if Ethereum were to break out 5x from where it is right now, then consider this. That's right up here at the top of this range at $15,000 Ethereum. So that's how bullish you should be on Ethereum right now. And again, one of the big problems with Ethereum is Ethereum doesn't allow staking on the ETFs, but I think that that's about to change. I think that that will become a big deal going forward. All right. So watch for a big move there. Now, here's why analysts think Ethereum's $10,000 breakout is programmed this cycle. An analysis by Ted Pillows highlights Ethereum's recent capitulation candle, which mirrors the sharp downturn seen in March of 2020. At that time, ETH faced a major downturn, leading many to believe the asset's trajectory was over, only for it to rebound and enter a bull run. Okay, this is what happened in 20 and 2021. This is the same chart pattern that played out. And if you're wondering, then here over right there is where it happened. Now, here is how it played out. So we had a nice little surge here. It went to $282. Are you laughing yet? Are you laughing? It went to $282, dumped all the way down to $90, $88 to be exact. And then from there, it only took a couple of months, and then boom, 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 boom. And then by the time you got into July, guess what? Even higher, even higher, even higher. You're not bullish enough. And then it goes higher, 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 higher. And then it really starts to get crazy. Okay. So if you consider that's what just happened right over here, what you're seeing right here just happened. So if that happened, you are not bullish enough, because that means that the rest of that should be happening over the next few months. So that's how this narrative plays out. And by the way, they tell you every time that it's dead. And by the way, if you look at it from this context and you say, well, what about this right here? Because that also happened. This thing happened, and then all of a sudden it started to pump, right? That happened right here, and it also started to pump. So, the pattern is repeating itself over and over again on the Ethereum chart. You're not bullish enough. It's only a matter of time. Ethereum is ready for a surge and ready for a breakout. And here's what I think is going to happen. I think you're going to get a 10% gain on Ethereum, just like that. Like, it's just going to break out, and you're going to see it run from here to about 3,000 or so. I mean, if it happens at 3,000, it's just going to run to 3,300, and then you're going to see it consolidate for 24 hours or 48 hours, and then boom, you're going to see it happen again. Like, this thing is inevitably ready for a surge to 4,000. So, in my opinion, and by the way, when that happens, every meme coin, everything attached to it is going to benefit from that surge. Now, the reason that I bring this up, that this is the DeFi chart. Okay, this is what DeFi has been doing. DeFi in the previous bull market went up to 199 billion. Okay, when people are talking about it and they're telling you all about how it's dead, it's not going to blah 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 blah. This is why they're stupid. Okay, this is why they're goddamn idiots, and you shouldn't give them any credence. The reason for it is because it happened before. 199 billion. We haven't even broken the top of this market cycle for DeFi. So only an idiot, only a fucking idiot would look at this and be like, yeah, it's done. You know what I'm saying? So from here to here, that's the trend line. So if you were to consider this thing is going to break out to $1 trillion market cap, DeFi is about to 10x. DeFi is about to 10x. All right. So right now, 98 billion. Pretty soon, $1 trillion. Along with that, this would be included in there, of course. And that one's headed to 2.3 trillion. And total 2 is headed to, I don't know if I gave a prediction on this. Yeah, on this one. But then this one is headed to 6 trillion. 6 trillion. Yeah. Headed to about 6 trillion. Jesus. It's woo. It's God damn it, man. You guys are not bullish enough. You are not bullish enough. Things are about to get absolutely wickedy wild. All right. Now let's go back over here and let's break down some of these. The market not really moving. Let's drop this in here. We're going to watch this for a couple days. Now, I've already exited my position from my stool sample. So I'm not worried about this one anymore, but some of you guys are, so we'll keep it up here for a little while, down to 3.3 cents. Guys, I just told you it could cut in half, and what did it do? It almost cut in half. The liquidity's coming down, 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 down. So we'll see whether or not this thing continues or not. But, I mean, guys, this is the market, okay? Now, HIS up 3%, Sato 3%, Pepe up 3%, Bonk up 2%, SWP. Guys, SWP just continuing to have a nice little run. Every once in a while, you see, it gets up here into 74-ish. Yeah, you get around that 74, and then you get a little bit of a sell, and just a couple of buys coming in is going to change the trajectory of the SWP very, very soon. Again, cup and handle play out. The top of that cup and handle range going to be 1.5 cents. So 2.5x or 2x coming for SWP, in my opinion. and it's attached right here to Solana. So if Solana breaks out like the rest of the market, if Solana breaks out, then boom, there it goes. You know what I mean? DevvE's up 1% on the day. Again, it could dip. It could have it could have a catastrophic move. That bottom right here at 64 cents would be an area where it'll probably bounce. It could also bounce again at 85, and it could come all the way down to 50 cents, or it could be reversing from right here. It makes sense, by the way, any one of these scenarios, because it's bouncing off of the 786 right now, could come down to here. That doesn't make a lot of sense, have be catastrophic, and I don't think that it is right now. So the bounce from here leads us to $1.37, and then maybe $1.54, and then a retest of $1.85 or whatever the number is. So that's what it looks like is getting ready to happen, and probably going to take an announcement of some sort. So be looking for something to happen over the next couple of days. Look for a little FOMO build. And by the way, if you get some people get excited and say, oh my God, it's here, then you'll know what's going on. Bonk up 1%. API struggling, 87 cents. Pepe, dead even for the day. Gummy, dead even for the day. Rhythm, dead even. Fiat down about 4%. Trump down another 5%. The old Trump dead, down 10% more. By the way, just because I say dead doesn't mean they're not going to reverse and start to pump. CC coin down to had a dip back down in that range over the last couple of hours. I don't know. There's a market maker, of course, so going to kind of be a little difficult to find out exactly where the dump happened. And I don't give a shit anyway. But it's still consolidating way up there at the top of the range. So the fact that it's way up there and the fact that it hasn't fulfilled the next breakout move means to me that it's coming very soon. So I would expect a move very, very soon to 42 again, 41.67. I would expect just a kind of a wham sort of move happening. On CC Coin, also LFGO is down about 10% on the day. The Butthole is down another 16%. Speedy down 18. And then, of course, Jailstool is just, Jesus. LFGO, by the way, don't forget this one. And the reason I bring this up is because I'm accumulating right now because they are an active community. Only a 600,000 market cap, but 152,000 in liquidity. This thing could easily go back up to its 30 million market cap again, which is 50x away from where we are at this point. And then it could break out and go much higher. The fact that it's what it is, right, which is hilarious. Like, this is something that's going to absolutely rip. Like, it seems to me that, like, these are, like, that's kind of, oh, by the way, that's me. But as you go down this list, you see here that, like, there's a lot of enthusiasm for this project. So, like, I don't have a lot in it. I think, like, maybe it's $100 or something like that. But turn $100 into 5,000. I'll take it. You know what I mean? And now I'm curious. Yeah, $100. I've got 100 and something thousand. I've got 100 and something thousand of them. So, ta-da! All right. So I think that's it. Yeah. Luna Classic. Let's talk Luna Classic real quick here. So the analysis of Luna Classic, very, very simple here today. It's fulfilled this move right here, coming down. There's also, it's kind of like this right here, if you make that argument there, but we're going to go with this one right here and say that, it's just got a downward channel, and it's going to break towards the upside of the channel because it always does. So you're at the bottom of an instinctive move back to the top of the range. You're about halfway, maybe through. The last time it did this, it came down here, right? Then it came up, and then it came back down deeply before breaking out and going back up. So it is going back up, and we're going to see a breakout here coming very, very soon. Just haven't seen it yet. One of the reasons is because USTC is having a very quick and rapid recovery because if you were to look at what happened on USTC over the last couple of days, then supply stake bin, here's the reason. Look right here. You just had massive burns. You had 1 million burned. Then you had 354,000 burned. Then you have 73,000 today. You had 70,000 the day before that. But before that, it was like 20 and 30. And you know what I mean? Like you're not burning a lot. So now all of a sudden you got a much bigger burn on USTC. Well, somebody thinks something is happening. And then when you combine that with, I think it's hashtag LUNC burn. I'm not sure I'm going to see it here, but the staking reward for Binance for USTC right now is 18.77%. So something is going on because it just spiked up dramatically. And if you're getting an 18% yield on your USTC, you're getting a lot of tokens. So coins, I guess, in this instance. But there's a big move coming here, I think, for USTC. Going to move back up here into that 2.5 cent range real quickly, like on an impulse. And that will lead to the rest of it breaking out as well. Also, Luna, same thing. Luna is down here. And by the way, their dump, I think, like you got to look at this one and just say, you know, it's really coming down. And right there, it looks like it's rounding. But if you look at it from this context right here, it is sort of slowing down. So I think that there's a big reversal coming for all of this stuff. But who knows? Who knows? Oh, yeah, I do. Anyway, so the answer is, I think, very, very simple. Within 2 weeks, this market is going to explode. And I think we've got to wait for Jerome Powell to have his meeting yesterday. Then we have to look at CPI data. We got his testimony today. And then we got PPI month over month, and then we got retail month over month. They're all coming out this week. So if all this stuff comes out perfect, right, then the next thing I think is we get back to $105,000 Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin comes up to about 106,000 through the range. And then we find out whether or not it's going to break out. But if it doesn't break out and it comes back down, I want you to buy right here. It is very simple. Go to Weeks, go to KCEX, go to wherever you trade. Set yourself a long. Go set yourself a buy, $200, $300, $1,000, whatever. Set your buy at about 92,000, just right here at the bottom of this range, or set a buy at 91,005. I would say set it at 91,008 if you're throwing some risk at, or 91,007. Don't go heavy leverage. Just buy the bottom. Just buy the bottom. If it comes down here, it will go back up here very, very quickly. Every time so far, look at this. It hits the bottom, bangs up to the top. Hits the bottom, bangs up to the top. Hits the bottom halfway. Hits the bottom almost. Hits the bottom, bangs up to the top. Hits the bottom. It's about halfway right now. Okay, so if it comes down here, it will bang up to the top one more time. Bitcoin's going up. And by the way, if you get the bottom right here on this range, then most likely that's the low in this market. So, I mean, I would accumulate as much as I possibly could for that next move, which is going to be 140, or which is going to be 125 and then 150. So, I mean, guys, I don't know what to tell you. And by the way, if you look at it today, that's from 100,000. Let's just call it 100,000. From 100,000 to 150,000, that's a 50% increase. Now, if you had a 50% increase over that period of time and you had it on 10x leverage, that's 500% gain. If you had on 20x leverage, that's 1,000 gain. That's a 10x off of your bag. If you had 100x, that's a 10x on your bag. You know what I mean? It's just crazy how much money you could potentially make by just going for it. Just go for it. Anyway, set yourself a buy order at the bottom. And that's it. That's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. It's not financial advice. I'm always right. And we'll see you again very, very soon. On January 25th, Cryptonomy kicked off a private sale for its own cryptocurrency, and it was sold out in a matter of minutes. But they also received a promise of another offer from a major investment firm in the TradFi sector to acquire part of the business. This could be a game changer for Cryptonomy. With the market still down, investing in Cryptonomy interest accounts right now could greatly affect your ability to earn profit and significantly multiply your assets. The public pre-sale of Cryptonomy is going to be announced very soon, and combined with the latest developments, it's likely going to see a fast demand and strong early earnings in this listing phase. The merger with a major financial player is also going to further boost Cryptonomy's infrastructure and influence, setting the stage for an explosive growth. Now, for those of you wondering, I did make a new deposit. I'm going to choose on this round. We're going to do a 9-month sponsorship right here for Ondo. I'm going to put in 10,500 Ondo in this 9-month stake. Yield return on this is 91.8. But folks, the place where the earnings are held. Look at Chainaware, a 1,000x for Cryptonomy.finance. And if you had a stake in the launch pool, then you received rewards for that too. Look at Creator Bid at 6x. There's a lot of money being made right now. Sign up at Cryptonomy.finance today.